Hey guys, Jo with Pilates Thread. I just wanted to pop on here real quick and say hello, and I'm sorry if you were looking for me for the Facebook Live on Monday this week, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time in the States. The long and the short of it is that there was some confusion with the post. The video went up two different ways on Facebook, and ultimately there was just a lot of confusion, and so I didn't see who was seeing the video. I didn't see comments or likes on it. It took some time. It was all very confusing. So that being said, I didn't stay up in the middle of the night to give you guys a class. So going forward, we will schedule the Facebook Live for a definite period of time, really to mitigate any confusion, mostly on my part. So apologies if you were waiting for me. And so for today, to make up for that a little bit, I wanted to come to you guys on the foam roller. I love the foam roller, and as you can see, I have my squashy ball again that I used the other day. I really love the use of props when we're doing anything Pilates. At the Pilates Thread, we are very passionate about the fundamentals of the Pilates work. It's all about your connection. I tell my classes that it's all about how you get into and maintain the stability and work in your exercise, and the range of motion being really vast and the exercise being super impressive and Instagram worthy is the sprinkles. So we want to get into the heart or the meat of the exercise and really work on our connections and our stability. We want a strong spine. We want to have a strong and stable balance in our overall body function. So if you have a roller, grab it. If you have a squashy ball, grab that too. Remember, you can use something else in place of this. You can use a pillow or one of your children's stuffed animals. With the roller, if you don't have the roller, you can use a yoga bolster. You can use a blanket or a couple of blankets that are rolled up nice and tight, and lay that on long ways on your mat. What you want is for the back of your head all the way down to your tailbone to be supported on the roller. So if you've got one of the shorter rollers that are typically used for some body-specific stretching, then that's not going to work for what we're going to do here. You need one of these longer rollers. So get yourself all situated, and we're going to come on down, and we're just going to do a few of my favorite things. All right, so when I come onto the roller, it's all very graceful. I like to sit on the very edge of the roller. I'm going to put my squashy ball here between my knees, and I'm going to just come down onto the roller just like that, nice and simple. I want my feet to be hip distance apart with equal pressure, big toe, little toe, and heel. And I've got a nice firm hold on that ball from the top of the inner thighs. We don't want to squeeze with the knees. If we squeeze with the knees, you're going to engage the glutes and you're going to cause some collapse in the pelvis. So we want to have the hips nice and long and in alignment. Squeeze with those adductors, those inner thighs. You should feel like the roller is comfortably there at your sacrum, all the way up the spine, that the shoulders want to drape over the sides of it, and that the head is reaching long towards the opposite end. So we're just going to start with some breathing here. We let those arms hang to the sides, feeling those legs nice and active again as we press down into the feet. And we find that fundamental Pilates connection, which is the pelvic floor pulling up and in, big breath, rib cage, down and together, and then that belly button cinches flat to the spine. Now, we don't tuck and press your back onto the roller. That feels terrible. You've got to stay neutral and just tighten all of those muscles. When we tighten the muscles here, we should feel like we automatically stretch the spine, that the shoulders open and they drape down over either side of the roller. Then we breathe into the sides and back of the rib cage. Now with the abdominals connected, inner thighs engaged, feet pressed down, neck reaching long, we're going to take those arms straight up to the ceiling, palms facing the midline, fingertips reaching. Inhale as you protract the shoulder blades, reaching to the sky. Exhale, retract the shoulder blades. And now with that roller underneath us, we can feel as if the shoulders melt over the sides of the roller. It stretches the chest and it engages the back. Inhale, reach. Exhale, retract. Reach and retract Now from here, I'm going to feel the shoulders settle down into the joint space. So I don't pull them towards the floor, but I connect the shoulder blades down into the rib cage. Holding that connection to the shoulder joint, I'm going to move through the arm. Don't let the ribs shift. Don't let the shoulder move here. We move the arm, the head of the humerus there in the joint space, back, and then we switch. We pinwheel those arms. Nice and slow. Now we take those arms straight up. Elbows drop open, fingertips together like we're hugging around a big beach ball. Maintain the angle of the arms. Abdominals are still connected. Inner thighs squeeze into the midline. You've got a strong hold of your prop between your knees. Feet are pressed down actively. Inhale, open the arms. Exhale, close. So as I breathe in, I don't let my ribs pop, but I do let the rib cage expand. One more. Now I'm going to place those hands behind my head, and I'm going to let the weight of my head rest in my hands. So if I take my elbows wide, it juts my chin forward and I pop all through the ribs. I want to stay connected and I want my neck to be soft. So I feel the shoulder blades pull down, give a little traction on the back of my head, close the ribs and let those elbows come up into your peripheral vision. Don't tuck the pelvis. We're going to crunch. Inhale. Exhale, close the ribs. Drop the breastbone. Come up. Inhale down. Exhale up. So my head stays nice and heavy in my hands. The tone of my voice doesn't change as I go up and down. The abdominals are doing the work, not the throat. One more. Now hold and come down. Bring the arms down by your sides, and we want to find what I call fingertip touch onto the floor. So my arms are off of the mat except for my fingertips. That's basically just telling my nervous system that I've got a little bit of assistance. I'm not just completely balanced here on the roller. I've got a little bit of help from my arms. Feel the shoulder blades connect, ribs close, pelvic floor in. Squeeze the ball and lift the heels off of the floor into a little bit of a releve. Inhale. Exhale, tighten the tummy a little bit more and bring those legs up into chair position. Now, with that fingertip touch on the floor, that gives me some assistance, and I reach my neck long. I keep squeezing the ball. Straighten the knees, tummy tight, long spine. Bend the knees. So this is a really very simple move, but there is a lot going on. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And I'm trying to take my fingertips off of the floor, one hand at a time, focusing on my balance. Now, if you pull those shoulder blades down into the rib cage, you're going to really be able to feel your balance increase. Hold those legs at chair position. Ooh, I was cheating. Make sure your knees stay over your hips and you don't pull them forward. See if we can take those fingertips off of the floor. One hand at a time. Keep squeezing on that ball. Feel the shoulders pull down. Crown of the head reaches long. Just see where you're at today. Ooh, my balance hasn't been awesome. That's not too bad. All right, we bring the fingers down. Tummy is tight, and we lower those feet to the floor. All right, now I'm going to take that ball out, and I'm going to walk my feet as far away from my sit bones and from the bottom of this roller as I can manage some control. Palms down, right leg to the ceiling. Externally rotate, single leg circles. Other way. Now, make that leg parallel, hold it to the sky, bring the left leg to meet the right leg. Lower the right leg and walk it out. Externally rotate the left leg. Reach that neck long, 3 circles each way. Now bring the right leg to meet the left leg Heels together, toes apart. Ankles pointed. This is our Pilates feet. Curl up into a crunch. Fingertip touch. Lower one leg. Bring it up. Lower the other leg. Bring it up. First. And second. Now, Mary Poppins feet. That's heels together, toes apart, flexed feet. Now we're going to do what I call a bend and stretch. Squeeze and release around the thigh bone. Push through the heels. Push through the heels. Push. Lower the legs down. 1, 2, 3. Reach it up. 1, 2, 3. Down. 1, 2, 3. Up. 1, 2, 3. Hold those legs. Roll down out of that crunch. Bend those knees into chair position. Lower those feet. One at a time. Now we're going to bring those arms into a goalpost position. So we want the elbows bent at 90 degrees, and we're reaching those hands for the floor. This opens up the tight chest, activates the muscles there in the back. We stay long in the spine, neutral in the pelvis. See if you can get those hands to the floor. No worries if not. A lot of people kind of hang out up here. We've got a lot of tight anterior muscles there in the body because of iPads and phones and computers and driving and all those things. So since we're all stuck at home, this is a nice time to try and work on some of those tight muscles that are perpetuated every day. See if we can't get them opened up. All right, now to get off of the roller, you're going to take one leg long, roll to the side, push the roller out of the way, and you come onto your back. Now you're going to want to lay here for a minute, 30 seconds, however long you feel comfortable there, and you should feel that spine stretch and get sort of returned to its normal but better positioning. This also helps that blood flow restore. It helps to make sure that we're not dizzy, sitting up too fast, or that we don't strain anything. And then we're going to roll to our side, and we're going to move the roller right up here in front of us. We're going to come onto our hands and knees. So I want to put the roller right underneath my hands, and then I'm going to have my knees right underneath my hips so that I'm on all fours here. Connect the shoulder blades and reach the crown of your head. Now this position here is quite tricky. The roller wants to move on you, so you've got to really connect through those shoulders, press down into the roller, lengthen through the spine so that you're nice and stable. If you feel like you're going to wobble, you're going to slip off the roller, move the roller and go flat onto the floor. Inhale. Exhale, take one foot back, planting the toes. Inhale again. Exhale, take the other foot back. We drop into those heels. Tailbone is down and long. Crown of the head reaches long to the opposite wall. Ribs are closed. No round in the upper back. Keep the back of the head lifted to the sky to keep the mid-back nice and engaged. You can stay here, or you can sweep the feet. Take one foot off, place it back down, but don't lift the hips. Take the other foot off, down. One side's always easier than the other. Whew. And bend the knees. Push back and use that roller to facilitate a nice little stretch. All right. Now we're going to move the roller to our ankles. Now as we come here with the roller at the ankles, you do have the option to put the ball between your ankles as well, or between the inner thighs. It gives you just another sense of stability so that you don't overspill into your low back. So we're going to come down into a hover. So I've got those forearms underneath me here, a little bit wider so that my shoulders line up nicely, and I've got my legs hip distance apart, feet are pointed, tummy is tight. Most of my person here is off of the mat before I even start. So my ribs are closed, I'm long through the back of my neck, I've got the inner thighs pulled up and in. I'm going to inhale to prepare. Exhale, I'm gonna lift off the rest of the way so that I'm on my forearms and I'm on my ankles here on the roller. I'm gonna bend the knees to draw it in, and then I'm gonna take it out. Bend it in and take it out. One more, in and out. And down we come. Now we're gonna flip over onto our back. Feet on the roller. All right. I like my ball handy for this one here between the inner thighs, or between the knees, to keep myself nice and lined up. Because when this gets hard, that's when we lose those fundamental connections. Pelvic floor to the inner thigh. These two pieces work together. So if you can't seem to think about all of those pieces, because it's a lot of different pieces, just focus on one. We'll give you the cue of one or another in order to facilitate more. So as the feet are on the top of the roller, when you drop your heels towards the floor, you get a lovely stretch in the calves. You feel the roller there at the arches of your feet. Squeeze the ball from the top of the inner thighs, not from the knees. Remember not to overwork the glutes. They're on as stabilizers, they're not in charge. Open up the chest, connect the shoulders, reach to the crown of your head. Inhale. Exhale, move the feet first. Open up the ankles. Now you're on top of the roller. Tuck the pelvis in opposition and lift into a bridge. So now those hamstrings are lit up. Keep squeezing the ball there from the top of the inner thighs out to the knees. Feel how when you're up there in that bridge, you kind of want to let them go. You want to squeeze with your glutes. Don't do that. Pull with the inner thighs, and I promise you're going to get into your glutes in a more true way, connecting the shoulders. Now from here, if you like, you can take the roller out with flexed feet, and you can pull it back in. We can take it out, pull it back in, keeping the hips high, roll down one vertebrae at a time, keeping the neck long, deep tuck, squeeze of the ball, all the way down, drop the heels. Let's do one more. Exhale, open up the ankles, shift the feet to the top of the roller, squeeze the ball, tuck the pelvis, and lift those hips. Now we're not going overly high, right? I could come higher here up onto my neck, but you notice my voice sounds cranked. I've lost my abdominal connection and I'm all up in my neck actually. So I'm gonna close my ribs, connect the shoulders, reach the neck long, squeeze the ball. I'm much lower, but now everything's on fire. Holding this point of my hips, roll down from the top of the spine. Feel it stretch, deep tuck, squeeze the ball, and down we come. Drop the ball, take a hold of each knee. One hand on the top of each, pull those knees into your chest, let the ankles relax, let the hips relax. Do some hip stirs. So you pull the knees in, and we circle them around, and then we circle them around the other way, just to open up inside the joint space of the hip, low back, inner outer thigh, all of those wonderful pieces and parts. Then we're going to move the ball out of the way, open up the knees and take the roller away just a little bit. Let the feet rest. Exhale, tuck. Ooh, up we come. And down, something like that. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that sort of quick run through on some of the things we can do on the roller. You can do all of those things over a much longer period of time, but really, if you're looking at 2 to 3 repetitions of each, you're gonna get really some great benefit from that. So give it a try. Let me know what you think. Remember to like the video and keep an eye out here for more to come. We've got some exciting stuff coming your way as we're figuring all of these things out. Stay safe. See you later.